Maybe I should have said that first and then went in with like the armpit hair and shitting. But you're basically like imagining that you're right beside a river.
Okay.
And it's a little breezy. So there's like a bunch of leaves kind of flying around. And you imagine those as those being your thoughts, just floating away. And then there's another one that comes and it floats away. Little spoiler alert if you haven't seen it yet.
If you haven't seen it, you
sorry.
need to be on top of
Yes.
the Netflix drama.
As you are good enough. And you're valued just being you. Hey guys, welcome back to That Good Vibe podcast. I'm Jordan.
And I'm Megan.
And we are so excited what?
We're off to a great start here. We are so excited for you guys to be back today.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, I know. We have a really cool and interesting topic to talk about today.
Very informative.
Yeah, very informative.
Mm-hmm.
We put our brains to the books this time.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
we did
come up with some knowledge for you guys.
Yes.
Yeah, so as per the title, you guys know that this is going to be a cool episode, but before we dive into that, we have to do a little bit of check-in and all that stuff. How are you? How's your week? How's things going?
Okay, not terrible. However, I have like 3 things.
Okay, ready.
Okay, so I was babysitting my little cousin this morning. Love her to death. I put my hand up to reach something and she was like, "You have armpit hair?" I was like, yes, I do actually. And thank you for calling me out that I haven't shaved in a while. Okay.
No need to call me out, little girl. Just
No. Second thing, I've been shitting like for the past couple days and I might have to pause to go. Like I just feel it turning up in here and it's
you and your gut hates you.
We all know I have stomach issues and we're still trying to figure it out.
I love your honesty here.
Yeah, right.
We're starting off the first few minutes with the word shitting. I've been shitting my pants.
I just had to let you guys all know.
So if you see a random interruption in here, it's because
I had to go.
Okay, number 3.
Okay, number 3. This was wild. On the way here, on Louvain, there was people on the other side of the road stopped. People stopped in the ditch with their hazards on, and then come to realize like there was shit happening on my side that I was driving. So we're all going slowly. People are trying to get into my lane. I pull up, and it was a motorcycle accident. And this man's laying on the ground, face down, and like all of these people are around. The cops weren't there yet. EMS wasn't there yet. So it must have just happened. But God. Oh, brother, my heart started pounding because I was like, I hope to God that he's okay. And it looked like he was moving and he was still laying on the ground, but like his head was like up a little bit and like someone else was laying on the ground with him. I don't know if he was like caught underneath. Maybe not, because they would have got him, or they would have got the motorcycle off of him, I feel like.
I know with big motorcycle accidents like that, you can't touch the person until EMS gets there.
Oh, okay, that's what it is.
Because if there's a neck injury, you could, or spinal injury or something, you have to just kind of leave them there. But oh my gosh, let's just like take a moment for this person. Oh, I just pray that they are okay.
Car accidents, they scare me so much.
Yeah, me too.
There was actually also just a rollover a couple days ago, like off Broad Street. There was a car accident and one of the vehicles, like a big SUV, rolled over. It was in the news.
That's really
so scary. I think they just said that there was like a couple people that went to the hospital, but they just had minor injuries. So thank God. But yeah,
wow,
scary.
That's heavy. Let's start this off heavy.
Maybe I should have said that first and then went in with like the armpit hair and shitting.
Okay, we have armpit hair, shitting, and accidents. It sounds like you're dealing with a lot right now. But okay, sorry, I just want to go back quick. Your little cousin, she's at that age now where body hair is like not quite coming in for her, because you said she was probably like under the age of 10.
Yeah,
for sure. So I remember when I was probably like 11 or 12, I started to notice like the peach fuzz that's on your legs. Yeah. And I thought, well, this is different. And my mom explained to me that when it starts to get darker, we're gonna teach you how to shave it. But you didn't really know. Like, I didn't know that women grew all this hair everywhere that you have to maintain all the time. I usually get my little lovely lady parts sugared. Best thing on the
still have
planet.
To try.
It is very expensive, and I don't currently do it now. And let me tell you, shaving is like my nemesis to life.
Well, because the next day it grows back right away, and it's
just
prickly.
like itchy and uncomfortable, and you're like, honestly, I'm better off just keeping it longer and trimming it. Yeah. But then getting in there and trimming is like, it's a problem, okay? Like, and when my man comments on it, then it's like, okay, I got to do something about this. Got it. So body hair is normal, whether you keep it or not, or shave it.
It's so normal. And that's what I said. I was like, yep, I do. Yeah. Like, what else am I supposed to say about it? Like, yep, there's hair there.
There's hair there.
Yep.
And then it's when you get to waxing your face when you really feel like,
I'm going to go get my eyebrows done and my mustache done tomorrow.
I'm getting mine done in like a week.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Wow. I can't. Don't look at my eyebrows.
Don't look at my eyebrows.
Okay.
just don't look at each other. Oh, goodness. Okay.
What about you? Check in. How have you been doing?
Honestly, today is one of those days. My energy is low. I have a little bit of a headache, migraine situation happening right now, but we are trooping on. So if you can tell that our energy's a little off today, that's just what's going on.
Yeah, we both kind of just feel blah.
It is gloomy outside. Yeah. It's like, it's a vibe. It's a not fun
I'm glad that like almost today is like that, because this weekend's actually my birthday. And it better be hot and nice the next couple days.
It's going to be actually on your birthday. I looked. Saturday is supposed to be 33 degrees.
Yes, I noticed that.
You can't wait. You're like, thank you, baby Jesus, for this lovely weather. So yes, my energy level is really, really low for a couple of reasons. One, I am officially 1 month away from being 30. And I think I'm entering a little bit of a life crisis right now. I have been crying uncontrollably every night for probably a week, because I just look at all these different areas in my life and they're not where I thought they were going to be, or the direction that I wanted them to be in, or the pace that I want them to go in. Like my fitness, I constantly say to you guys how I want to integrate a new fitness routine in my life. And now I'm at the point where mentally I'm ready, but there's something in the deep parts of my brain that are like, nope. So it's very frustrating. And that's just like one small example of, honestly, every area of my life I just want to change right now. And one thing I did change, which definitely has a big impact on why I'm feeling so blah, is I have stopped taking oral birth control. I have been taking oral birth control on and off since I was 16 years old. Yeah. I stopped taking it for about 3 years. I think it was like 2018, 19, and 2020. And then I've been taking it back up ever since. And now I'm off of it because I'm just like sick of the side effects that birth control has, and like that hold that it has on you.
There's so many. And like, not even that. I feel like when you have days where you don't feel yourself, you're like, okay, is it just all the extra hormones that my body has right now? Yeah. Or like what's actually going on? Like, it's hard to like pinpoint a lot of the time.
Yeah. What it could be.
Yeah.
So
it's hard.
I'm feeling some feels lately, and I am almost done being in my 20s, and that's like a huge thing too. So I know age at the end of the day is just like a number. It's all about how you feel, blah, 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 blah. But I'm kind of feeling her right now. I've been so excited for my 30th birthday. You know, I've been planning this birthday party for
That's why I'm surprised. Like, not even just about your birthday party, but the fact that like you're so, I guess like the same thing, but like you're so into celebrating like going into your 30th year. That's why I'm like surprised that you're like kind of feeling down lately. And
I think it's just part of the ebb and flow that you go through with change.
Yes.
That one minute you feel so excited about it and you're like, I'm so hopeful it's going to be so wonderful and amazing. And what are my 30s going to bring for me? And then the next minute I'm like, holy fuck. I don't think I'm ready to get on this ride.
I don't like this.
I'm still okay to be this 20-year-old that makes the same fucking mistakes every single time. But when you're 30, it's like, okay, you kind of got to learn these mistakes. And yeah, it's just going through a lot of transitions, and yeah, that's kind of how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
So that was a long-winded how are we?
Well, hopefully, I just want to say hopefully that passes soon.
I know it will
get
pass.
Back to normal. Well, and that's the thing. That's the thing. Feelings come and go all the time, and so
just in my own personal growth journey, and one big thing I have learned in my 20s is that no matter what feeling you have, good, bad, negative, whatever, I always say to myself, this is going to pass.
It is.
So it makes it feel a little more comforting when you're in your feels and in your wallows that I'm not going to be like this forever. I am going to get through it.
Yes, exactly.
It's when it starts to become months and months and months of being down, when your friends notice, coworkers notice, then it's like, okay, maybe I need to go get some help for this. But that's a whole nother.
We all need therapy.
We all just, and I haven't seen my therapist in a long time, so that's another thing.
Yeah,
I miss my girl.
Me too.
I wish therapy wasn't so expensive.
Yeah.
So anyways, that's our little how are we. What was your self-care challenge last week? Do you remember?
Oh, it was working out 3 times a week, which I just did not do. And here's the thing.
She's ready. She has her reasonings.
Well, okay, I'm just trying to give myself grace because it is summertime, and now my birthday's coming up, and I'm going to be indulging, in the drinks and the food and the appetizers and the cake and all of it. So I'm like, you know what? My healthy workout routine and healthy eating can start after my birthday.
There you go. So, I love it.
Well, and now we're coming into fall too, so it's the perfect time to get back into a good routine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good idea. Did you work out at all?
No.
Okay, that's okay. But do you feel good with where you're at?
Yes, because I know that I'm gonna actually put my foot down and force myself to I know that I'm gonna push myself come next week, so yeah, everything will be fine. And I love it. I do love it. I feel so good after, even during, I'm listening to my music, jamming out, listening to a good podcast.
And after you always feel so good.
So
and you
good.
Sleep so good.
Yes. So yeah. I already know I'm going to get it done. So
good. Okay.
What about you?
My self-care challenge was the technology-free day.
Oh, right.
And again, now I'm 2 weeks where I did not successfully accomplish, which
it's hard though.
It's okay.
Well, but at the same time, there is work to be done, and you do need your phone.
And I did, when I looked at my calendar, I thought to myself, oh, on Wednesday, I can have a technology-free day. Yeah. I could do that. However, my job took over on the days that I was working. I thought maybe I'd be able to work on this little project, and it just didn't really work out for me, and I needed to get stuff done. The podcast has to go up. We need to keep showing up for you guys. So I do have next week, I believe I have a day where I can possibly have a techno-free day.
Okay, cool.
I even said to myself, as long as you can do a morning.
Yeah.
Or part of the day.
Half the day kind of thing.
I mean, I half kind of did it. I deleted Instagram off my phone yesterday.
Yeah, that's a big step.
Because I looked at my screen time. 6.5 hours for 4 consecutive days on Instagram.
Oh, dear.
And what did I learn from it? Nothing other than the fact that I'm having a midlife crisis and I hate everything about my life right now. So let's look at other people's lives.
Yeah, no kidding.
So that kind of felt good. Our next little segment, weekly favorites.
Oh, yes. What is my...
Okay, so last week...
Yeah, what did we talk about last week?
Last week we talked about the Johnny Depp Amber Heard stuff. So we already concluded our feelings there. One of the other things we talked about was the ultimatum.
Okay.
Did you finish?
I did.
Even the 2 episodes that came out yesterday?
Yes, I watched those episodes yesterday.
The reunion?
But I also started rewatching the first season. So now I'm kind of mixed up.
Okay,
However,
that's okay.
But the first season was so good, and there was just so much drama.
So much drama.
Compared to the second season was kind of meh.
This was the second season that we just finished, right? Yes,
yeah, exactly.
Totally agree. So I just finished the reunion today.
Oh, okay.
And now I feel kind of shitty that we assumed she wasn't pregnant.
I know. I was thinking that.
oops.
But so did everyone else on the show.
Everyone else felt that exact same way. Yeah. And you know what? The couple even said, you have a right to feel that way. We totally understand that you would. The situation just was like a perfect scenario to assume that she's not pregnant. Yeah. But for him to say, she's not that girl. We don't play like that. Yeah. Got it. And now they have a lovely little baby together. They seem very happy and they're doing their thing. Mm-hmm. I was absolutely shocked that everybody got engaged.
Me too. Little spoiler alert if you haven't seen it yet.
If you haven't seen it, you need to be on top of the Netflix drama.
So Roxanne and Antonio got engaged. Roxanne was not wearing her ring at the reunion.
She is not marrying that man.
No, she is not. She's a little different. The one thing that she said was like, I don't know why I have to wear a ring when the boy doesn't, or the man doesn't have to wear one, like the engagement ring. And it's kind of like, well, but don't you want to like show that off that you're engaged and like,
I know, I will,
almost getting married to the love of your life. And
I'm going to be talking to people like this. Yes. Like my hand is literally going to be, I know that's, I don't know. She gets on my nerves.
She does too.
She's too, ego driven.
Yes. That's a good way to describe her.
You know what? The woman knows what she wants in life. She wants a career. She wants money. She wants to be successful in that area.
No, yeah, in that area, yeah.
So that's great for her. But it's like, just like, I think we talked about this last week, your purpose. You mentioned this, how you don't have to have one purpose. Yeah. That's the type of person that needs to reflect on their life and say, is my career my only purpose in life?
Yeah. There was also like a couple things that like irked me too, and I felt bad for Antonio because he would say I love you and she would be like just like smile awkwardly and not say it back, and then she's like, I don't know why I have to say it, like we weren't doing anything. And it's like, girl, you don't have to be doing anything. If you love this man, just like, it doesn't have to be in like a certain situation. Just tell him that you love him back.
You love him. Love you.
Like
love
she's
you
just
too.
a little different, and I just can't.
Different kind of person. Who do I love? Okay, first of all, Ryan, my favorite gal out of the whole thing. What is her fiance's name? Andrew? No. I can't remember. Yeah. It'll come to us at the most inconvenient time. Don't love her fiance.
No.
I do understand he opened up about all the trauma that he went through, and that's amazing and great. We're so going on a side tangent here. We'll wrap this up really quick. But he went through so much trauma and he didn't trust that he could tell her these things. And she sat there and was like, I had no idea that you were experiencing these mental health concerns.
For like years on years.
And that you wanted to harm yourself or take your life away for years. He's 23 years old and he still feels that way.
Seeing when they went for lunch or whatever it was, like with his mom, like how his mom is like, okay, yeah, I can see that there's some PTSD there. Like she doesn't seem like she cares that much or like even like was around that much. And
she loves in a different way.
Yeah.
Which not the way that he needed as a kid, obviously. No. So I hope that he is able to change a little bit and be the man that she needs. And she already is like, I'm here for you, babe. So I love her for that.
She seems like the perfect girlfriend.
I love all the couples. The reunion was kind of boring, to be honest.
The whole season was kind of boring.
There's no drama.
No. That's why I'm rewatching the first season. Like, oh, so good.
Yeah, I should. Anyways, okay.
Moving on.
So we never really talked about weekly faves, but I just have to quickly say that my $40 planner that everyone gives me a hard time about.
Okay.
I love this thing.
Oh. Okay.
Love.
Is this your weekly fave?
It's my weekly fave. Is my planner.
I'm glad you love it because it was a little pricey.
I'm literally obsessed with it.
It was worth it.
I've got highlighters and color coding and it's a vibe.
Beautiful.
So yeah. What was your fave, by the way?
I had written down the ultimatum, but we talked about that last episode too. But whatever, it's fine.
We just went on a 10-minute rant about it, anyways. So perfect. Do you have anything else?
I don't think so.
Oh, I do have one more thing, and it's a book suggestion for people to listen to. If you like to read books, then read this book. But I listened to it on Audible, and it is an 8-hour book. And I crushed it in a day.
Wow.
It's called I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy.
Oh, That is so funny. I'm sorry, that's not funny, but the situation's funny because with my little cousin this morning, we were watching Sam and Cat.
Yeah, like, and she's one of the
Sam. Yeah,
she's Sam
on that show.
Okay, because you need to listen to that book now. Okay. Because to learn about her life, I don't know if I'll give you a little tiny synopsis if you haven't learned, but she grew up in a very mentally abusive home. Her mother was very, very abusive to her entire life, kind of pushed her into child acting and she didn't really want to do it. And it's the story of her life. And it's just, I really think we should be learning and listening about other people's stories in life to give yourself perspective in your own life. It's definitely not to compare, but it's just to learn that people live different lives than we live.
Yeah.
Everyone has a different story and we should really listen to other people's stories.
Yeah, I definitely think that would be really interesting.
So you should definitely listen to that book.
Okay, moving on. Okay, self-affirmations, guys.
Self-affirmations, yes.
Okay, let's just say that they help so much.
Uh-huh.
They're basically like positive statements to help when self-doubt creeps in and you're feeling unsure and you're just thinking really negatively about everything. And they basically like help change your brain and the information it believes. Like they cultivate more positivity, confidence, and optimism, and they help maintain healthy behaviors and enhance problem solving.
Yeah.
Just in general, just in your everyday general life and everything that you do. I think that saying a little affirmation in the morning is
very helpful to help your mind. So I learned somewhere that we have anywhere between 50 to 80,000 thoughts per day.
Oh God.
I believe you can't even like fathom that type of number. It's so big. So when you're saying affirmations to yourself, verbally, mentally, writing them down, you're at least purposely choosing some of those thoughts to be positive. Because how many thoughts a day do you have where you're like, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not organized enough,
I'm so stupid, why did I say that? Like, oh, I'm so dumb, why did I do that? Like,
people are thinking so about me negatively. And
yeah.
So affirmations really help you purposefully choose your thoughts to be positive ones and have a positive outcome.
Yes. We've talked about this before, that like you're your own best friend and like you should be talking way nicer to yourself than you usually do. And like basically talking to yourself like you would to your best friend. So that's where self-affirmations come in.
I was going to share a story. So I recently watched a YouTube video on a guy doing an experiment over 7 days, verbally saying affirmations to himself in the mirror every morning and every night for 7 days. So during this process, he says, I've never done affirmations. He's a very analytical type person, doesn't really believe in the law of attraction and all that stuff, but he thought, don't knock it till you try it, hey? So he sits down and he tries to find some affirmations that he think are cool and resonate with him. And he laughed at Google. He's like, are you kidding me? These are the saddest, most pathetic affirmations. It was things like, I am awesome, I am beautiful, I am smart. And he's like, I already know these things about me. Like,
just so like generic, almost like not in depth at all.
Not in depth at all, and not personalized either. So what he ended up doing was he took those generic ones and tweaked them slightly to his things. He's like, wouldn't really consider myself beautiful, but I consider myself attractive and good looking and handsome. So he swapped that word beautiful for what resonated with him. Second thing he did was he went to his girlfriend and said, can you write down some affirmations for me? Because you're probably the one person that knows me better than anybody else.
I love that, because I'm sure she had some other things to say about him.
She had some funny stuff in there, but she'd had some great things.
But stuff that like he would never think of.
Yeah. I can't think of an example off the top of my head, but one of the funny one was he did say girlfriend and she wrote down, I'm the best husband ever. And he laughed when he read that because he's like, yeah, maybe one day, joking. I thought that was kind of funny. But that was such a great takeaway to, if you're starting to try to find some affirmations, start with Pinterest and Google, obviously. Pinterest has billions of affirmations out there. Use ChatGPT to create affirmations for you.
My go-to is Pinterest for sure. There's so much on there. I love
Pinterest. Yeah. It's great. What else was I going to say? Oh, go to your friends and family or your partner, because they see you in a different perspective than you see yourself. So they could help you with that.
I love that idea. I'm going to do that.
Yeah, do it. Do you have like 1 or 2 affirmations that you love saying to yourself?
No, because the Balance app that we use has affirmations of the day notifications every morning. And so I'll always, like, that's just my affirmation of the day kind of thing.
You just kind of read it to yourself?
Yeah, I just read it to myself, and I kind of save that notification so I can read it throughout the day.
That's really smart.
And then a lot of times I'll go on Pinterest, look up some affirmations on there, different ideas, and then I will journal them out.
Yeah, love that.
But I don't usually like come up with some on the spot and then say those like every day.
It's very hard to do that.
Yeah. So, but I like that idea of asking your friends and family.
I have an affirmation in my car, a sticky note that's been in there forever, and it says, I choose to celebrate myself. And it's just one of those affirmations that sometimes when we do really hard things, when we really push ourselves just in that day, for an example, we go to the gym, we go to bed early, we don't do that bad habit that we've always done every single day. Got to celebrate those little tiny moments.
Yeah, for sure.
So the affirmation, I choose to celebrate myself, really solidifies that.
And I love that you have that in your car and you look at that every time
I get in my car.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I am awesome.
And it's just like a little glitter of like making you feel that good feeling. And you're like, okay, yeah, cool. I can go on with my day. And I feel like just that extra little bit better.
Yes, totally agree. Yeah. Oh, and then the last thing I was going to say about affirmations before we kind of transition. Do you have anything else on affirmations?
I have a little quote.
Okay, let me go first and then yeah. So last thing I was going to say is, when you're choosing affirmations, if it doesn't like strike something within you, in your heart, your gut, your brain, your soul, wherever in your body, if you don't feel it true to yourself, don't fucking say it to yourself.
Yeah.
Don't just write down the first 10 affirmations you find on Pinterest and say, hey, I'm trying. Great. We're very proud of you, but you need to be very intentional.
It has to resonate in you somewhere.
Yes, you have to literally, because there is a lot of scientific videos out there saying that what you say in your brain will actually be true. So you have to feel that that's true. Like,
it definitely changes the way you think for sure. Like, you have to believe it. Like, you can't just be like, I don't know. I don't have an example, but
I'm awesome. Like, I am awesome is such a generic affirmation every single day.
Yeah.
You could say things like, I am a kind person and I try to show kindness to every person I run into each day.
Yeah.
Like, being specific about your affirmations really helps you soak that in.
One of the ones that Balance had that notified me the other day was, I prioritize what brings me peace.
I love that.
And it like, they have such like in-depth ones. They're not just like, I am worthy. Like, that's just, it's so basic. No, I prioritize what gives me peace. Because you're right. I do.
That can be interpreted in so many different areas of your life.
Totally.
I love that.
Yeah.
I have a list here of a couple of apps that I use that do generate those daily affirmations or just statements that I love. So the first one is the Balance app, obviously. I am on day 10, 11, I want to say. I love this freaking app. You guys, you're going to hear us talk about this app every single episode.
Yeah.
Balance, send us a code, give us a sponsor.
I'm pretty sure it's still free right now. Hopefully when this episode's out, it'll still be, but we'll still link it below.
We'll always link the Balance app on there, but it's such a great app. Anyways, so that one has affirmations. Plus, I used to use the app Headspace.
Oh, yes.
That's another meditation one. So they still, once a day, I get a little blurb from them. The other one is a new app that I've discovered called Lively. Lively. Lively.
Lively, I think.
Lively. Okay. This app. So cool. So it's all about tracking your period, But on this app, it figures out because, there's the 4 stages of period. Okay, give me a second. Lutheran ovulation. I don't think the Lutheran is correct. That
doesn't sound right.
So I totally butchered those. The follicular phase, your ovulation phase, luteal phase.
Okay, you were close.
I'm close. I don't think I'm saying that right. And then your menstrual phase. So there's 4 phases that we go through. This app basically figures out what your phases are based on you putting your, like, when you ovulate and when you're having your period. Then it gives you suggestions of what foods to eat, what activities to do, what types of vitamins you should be increasing based on that phase.
Wow.
So when I was in my research of coming off of birth control, this app is what I've discovered. And I'm like, this is actually going to be really helpful for me to live my life around my period and my different phases. So they give you little affirmations every day about
that's amazing.
Your body and the power of being a woman and all that stuff.
Lively.
Lively. Yeah. Okay. It's really, really cool. So I'll link that one down below too. It's a newer app and I do think you have to pay for it, but it's relatively cheap. It was like $21 for a year, which isn't terrible.
No, that's not bad.
Those are my little favorite apps.
Okay. So I just kind of have a quote to share that kind of relates to self-affirmations. As you are good enough and you're valued being you.
Can you say that one more time?
As you are good enough and you're valued just being you.
Okay. I freaking love that quote.
You don't have to be anyone else. Do not try to be anyone else.
Don't try to please anybody.
No. And
you just have to be you.
I think that goes back to like having self-affirmations that resonate with you and are very personal to you.
Yep.
And are not like, the ones on Pinterest that are like, you have to make them your own.
Because you are your own person individually and your affirmations. Your affirmations should link back to who you are.
Yes, exactly.
One thing I kind of just realized is when you pick affirmations that really resonate with who you are, the type of person you want to be and all these things, it's also going to help build that inner confidence in who you are.
Oh, totally. And you're going to be so confident after you like
say these affirmations.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. Sometimes our thoughts, guys, they're just a little we try. We hope you guys have fun with us. Okay, let's transition to meditation.
Okay, yes.
Like we clearly can never shut up about meditation.
Yes.
We love the Balance app. We've said that before.
Love the Balance app. Okay, I just wanted to start off.
Yes, go. Absolutely.
Okay. Do you ever feel like you're hanging out with someone or you're hanging out with family or you're doing whatever and you can't focus and you can't even comprehend what they're saying and your mind is elsewhere? Maybe it's thinking about Love Island. Maybe it's thinking about what you're going to have for supper tomorrow or tonight. Maybe it's thinking about what someone said yesterday or what you've done 5 years ago that you hate. And so meditation is about bringing it back to life, being present in the moment and enjoying the moment. And it's basically also like your thoughts are going to come and go and you just have to let them flow. You don't have to like stay with your thoughts, like bring it back down to life and like snap out of it and get back into the moment and listen to what your mom is talking to you about.
So you're not like, huh? What? Yeah. What'd you say?
Right?
Yeah. Meditation is totally that. It's returning back to the now, returning back to your physical body.
Yeah.
This amazing vessel that we live in every day. Yeah. It's returning and back to that. I think one of my favorite parts of meditation is when you focus on breathing.
I like that too. However, I get bored of that.
I can get bored of it too, but I find it challenging because when a thought comes in, I'm like, oh, there's a thought. Okay, back to the breathing. And I try to see how long I can stick with the breathing.
I don't know if you've gotten to this part yet with like labeling, like with the Balance app, like the stages you're going through.
I've done it before. Okay. I don't think it's been called labeling, but you kind of like when you have a thought or a feeling or emotion, you label it as its own separate thing.
You basically just say like, yep, there's a thought. And then you let it pass.
So I have a little tip for that. I don't know if you guys know this, but I technically have a meditation certification. It was like a 120-hour little course that I took online. That's so cool. It was really, really cool. Years ago, I did meditations live on Instagram. Remember when Instagram had like those live channels and like IGTVs?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that was like probably 5 or 6 years ago. And I did a weekly meditation.
Oh my gosh.
And people would come on.
You should start doing that again.
I know. I have those intrusive thoughts of like, oh, is that what I want to do? I don't really know, but
I think you'd be so good at it. So
thank you. So I learned a lot about like the science behind meditation and like how meditation can actually change shit in your body and your brain. And one of the things I learned is when you have a thought like kind of come into your brain and then you start to get stuck on it. I do this all the time. I'll be meditating and then I'll stop and be like, okay, so I got to make that for dinner. So that means I need an onion and I need cheese. Yeah. So that means I got to go to Walmart. Then I have to stop here, then there. And I'm like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
You're meditating.
Yeah.
Stop. So you take that thought, you put it in a nice little ball that looks like a little white fluffy cloud, and you just watch it disappear. And then next thing you know, there's another cloud and another cloud because we constantly think.
One of the meditations I've done is you're basically like imagining that you're right beside a river. Okay. And it's a little breezy. So there's like a bunch of leaves kind of flying around. And you imagine those as those being your thoughts just floating away. And then there's another one that comes and it floats away. And another one. And like the thoughts are never stick with you for a long period of time. And you kind of just learn to let it go.
You just click that there's a thought and you let it move on. Whatever metaphor you want to use for your thoughts, use that, but something that comes and goes. Comes and goes. So that's a big tip. I think that's one of the things that holds people back from meditating.
Yeah.
A common misconception is meditating is just not thinking or feeling.
Like you're just supposed to like sit there, with relax, and stay calm, which is actually, if you were to do that, you're suppressing all of your thoughts and emotions.
Yes.
And you're not supposed to do that. You're actually supposed to feel everything as it comes and let it go. And then let it pass.
Go. Yeah. So meditation can be very difficult to get into, to start as a habit. It's a very daunting thing. It's like, oh, does this really work? Like you can feel I feel like someone's pulling my leg, but don't knock it till you try it.
Right. And the Balance app has like a bunch of different, I called them chapters last time, but like
courses,
I guess. Yeah. So it starts you off like it slowly introduces different things. And it starts off with like 5 minutes.
I love the 5-minute ones. Honestly, one time it did a 10-minute one and I was like starting to get fidgety in my skin because I'm like, okay, this feels really, really long. Yeah. I ended up coming out of it and I looked at the clock. I'm like, oh, I was 9 minutes into a 10-minute meditation. So then I pulled myself back in and I finished it off. Like it was nice.
Yesterday I tried doing a 10-minute one and I was home by myself and I could like hear a noise and that like kept on happening. And I'm like, fuck, what the fuck is that? Like, is someone trying to break in? Like, what is happening? And like Luna was on my bed. And so I peek over at her and like her ears are like kind of up, like listening. And I'm like, fuck, now I gotta go see what's happening. And it was my coffee maker making noise. Like, and I'm just like, fuck. Like, so, and then after that, I was like, you know what? I wasn't even really in it anyways. And I ended up just not even going back in it, which usually if that were to happen, like most of the time I would go back in it, but I don't know, yesterday I just like wasn't feeling it. And I don't know.
I get that. Sometimes I'm so frustrated or grumpy or really in a heightened emotion that it's hard for me to get in. But getting back into meditation, we're both still very much at that beginner stage again. It's going to take time. And at some point when you're like angry, sad, distracted, it's going to be nothing.
Oh, yeah.
So just know as you start your meditation journey, we're literally right there with you, struggling still.
Yeah, exactly.
Another little tip I wanted to give is like the actual sensation of when we say coming in and going out, it's in and out of the actual meditation. Right. So something to do is if you don't like, For those of you that can visually see us, if you're watching us on YouTube, you'll actually be able to see me. If you're listening, I'm going to do my best to explain.
Yeah.
So try to sit upright with your legs either cross-legged or directly in front of you, touching the floor. I'm so short that my feet don't touch the floor, so I can't really do that. And then try to have your back straight. Something that they say is pretend there's a string on your spine.
Yes.
And it's pulling you directly up.
Yeah.
Shoulders down, everything's relaxed. And then just let your hands fall wherever they naturally fall down. That's one of the best positions. I found for a long time, it was very hard for me to feel comfortable in that position. So I would often not meditate because I didn't like sitting there. You can meditate laying down.
You can, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I used to grab a pillow, put it on the floor, lay down with a blanket, and then I just meditated that way.
A lot of times I've only tried that a couple times, like laying down. And a lot of times I feel like I'm almost like dozing into a sleep, and I don't like that. Some people might, but I would rather be sitting upright with like my back straight. And a lot of times I'm like hunched over every day of my life, so like actually forcing myself to sit up straight, it feels good. And then I'm more like alert and I feel like I can focus better, whereas like laying down I almost like
is sleepy.
Yeah.
So whichever position you want is definitely totally fine. But yeah, that's kind of my suggestions. And then as you're going in, you take lots of deep breath, you feel your stomach, you feel your diaphragm, you feel your lungs actually filling with air. And then you slowly let it out for the same amount of time that you breathed in for. Yeah. So try to count like in 1, 2, 3, 4, hold it, and out 2, 3, 4. Try to keep the same breath. That will help bring everything down. So you do that a couple times and then you fall into the meditation. As you're coming out, you do not want to just go, well, that was great, up, and just move on, because you're messing with your brain. Yeah. My favorite way to come out is, first of all, you become aware of the seat that you're sitting in. You feel the seat. Then you visualize the floor that seat is on. Then you visualize the other items that would be in that room that you're in. Then you slowly start to wiggle your toes and fingers very slowly. Maybe move your wrists a little bit. And then you can slowly bat your eyes open. Yeah. Allow your mind to come back into the room first before you physically enter the room.
Ooh, okay. That's really interesting, because a lot of times, like at the end of the meditation, they'll just be like, okay, like slowly open your eyes. And I kind of just like open one and then both of them. And then I'm like, alrighty.
Next, what's next? Yeah. But by slowly transitioning, you're not just gonna, when you come out of it, you're still gonna allow that nice slow transition into your next task. Yeah. Rather than just, okay, gotta go do the dishes now.
I'm gonna definitely try that next time.
Yeah, that's really, really cool. What else do you got on meditation?
Let me see. Ooh, another great thing about meditation is you can basically try and figure out where you're storing pain. And it's not going to be like, if your shoulder hurts every day, it's not going to just be that. You're going to try and figure out other places in your body where you're like, okay, so, and it's going to tell you a lot about your body and like what's going on. And a lot of it is using the body scan. So,
I love the body scan.
Yes, you can go more into that, because I feel like you'll have.
Yeah, I can definitely.
You can explain it a little bit better.
Go into that bit more. I will say the body scan is like, if I had to choose, there's two. Sorry guys, let me just recap this. Back up for a second. There's two main things that a beginner meditator is going to learn: breath focus and body scan. Yeah. These are going to be the two things that always get you to start a meditation. No matter if you're like meditating for 5 minutes or 25 minutes, or if you're doing a visualization meditation, you're still going to start off with one of those two. I definitely prefer the breathing. I count inhale 1, exhale 2.
I do like that
too. Inhale 3,
too.
exhale 4.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. But the body scan. So what you do is you start at the top of your head. You're going to almost look at yourself, like think of yourself in an MRI machine. Okay? But you're standing up. And there's this like little laser that's kind of slowly coming down your body. You are going to be that laser for yourself. So you're going to visualize looking at yourself from the outside and as well inside. I know that seems kind of confusing, but But as you go down, you're going to say, oh, there's my hair. There's my head. Okay, my brain. Yep. My eyebrows. My eyes.
Like, do I feel any
nose.
tension anywhere?
Do you feel tension? Like right now, I feel tension in my eye from my headache, right? Mm. So I'm going to look at that and just be like, I feel tension in my eye. I'm not going to put any pressure on it. I'm not going to make it be something that it's not. I'm just going to acknowledge that that's what it is.
Yeah.
And then you're going to just keep scanning all the way down your body. I love body scans. They're pretty cool.
And like, you're not moving at all. You're just feeling. You're just letting yourself feel what's going on in your body.
And you don't have to ask yourself questions about those feelings either, because that's how you'll get sucked into those thoughts.
Exactly.
Just acknowledge that my heart is beating.
Yeah.
My tummy is grumbling. Okay. I feel those things. So that's a body scan.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I just want to go off about one more really interesting thing that I've learned.
Yeah, go ahead, girl.
And this is more like sciencey stuff. So we have two versions of nervous systems in our body, the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system. Mm-hmm. Your sympathetic nervous system is the one that we are running on 95% of the time. This is your heart rate is up, your digestion is down, your blood levels are higher, your body is pumping more blood to big muscles in your body. Your amygdala, which is that like little tiny part in the middle of your brain, kind of like in the front of your brain, is fired. Amygdala has to do with stress response and anxiety, depression.
Yep.
That's your fight or flight mode. This is the human in us from hundreds of thousands of years ago, that part of the brain.
Yep.
So when you are in a sympathetic nervous system is activated, you are in fight or flight. You're always looking for danger. You're anxious. When you meditate, you kind of turn that part of your body off. You allow the amygdala to slow and calm down, and you activate many different areas of the brain that I just don't know how to pronounce. But this is the parasympathetic nervous system. Your heart rate level goes down. Your blood pressure level goes down. Your muscles begin to relax. And interestingly enough, all of your digestive organs skyrocket.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Because all that energy in your body that's being used to pump blood and keep yourself in fight or flight mode can now be utilized in your body to digest. So when I learned that, I'm like, so maybe it's a good idea to meditate after you eat.
Oh, yeah.
To help your body with that stuff. So that's kind of cool. What are a few other things that I've learned here? So as we do habits, this is changing our brain and changing the neurons in our brain and the pathways that they say, okay, every time this happens, we do this habit, and so on and so forth. Our whole life is nothing but habits. When you start a positive habit like meditating, you are changing, get ready for this big word, guys, your neuroplasticity of your brain.
Oh, yes.
Which also is the gray matter of your brain.
Yes.
Gray matter is the actual mushiness of your brain.
Yep.
Which I think is so cool.
I know, me too.
So every time you meditate, your prefrontal cortex, which is literally located here, is not fully developed until you're actually 21 years old. So all of you 17 years old out there that are making dumb decisions, you go tell your mom that your prefrontal cortex is not grown, and that's your excuse. Anyways, my mom always says that to us. So every time you meditate, your prefrontal cortex, which is also the decision-making part of your brain, is actually growing along with all different areas of your brain. Science has shown that if you do not use your prefrontal cortex and do not try to make it grow, as you get older, like in your 50s, 60s, and 70s, it will actually deteriorate and it will not grow anymore, causing us that when we are 70, 80, 90, we forget things, right? Because there's
makes a lot of sense.
There's no prefrontal cortex brain material there. Every time you meditate, you grow that part of your brain.
Wow. Isn't that crazy?
I think that's the coolest thing ever.
That is so cool.
that you can actually change your brain. Mm-hmm. I've watched so many YouTube videos on the brain and meditation and just the power of all that stuff.
The brain is so freaking cool.
Yeah.
All of these like little tiny parts do so many different things and like work together, and it's just insane.
Oh, the other thing I learned that I totally forgot is that when you meditate, it shrinks your amygdala, which is the fight or flight mode. So every time you meditate, they did a study that for people that meditated 30 minutes a day for 3 consecutive months, their amygdalas were half the size of prior.
Oh my gosh.
They were less stressed at work, less stressed at home. Like things that normally stress them out just kind of didn't really stress them out anymore.
Wow. No, I could totally see that.
Meditation, you guys, it's like the freest, cheapest, easiest thing in life to cure a lot of things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And to like be able to like take on all these different challenges and be able to kind of let them pass and not like bug you as much and make you mad, or I mean like you're still supposed to feel your feelings and you're still going to throughout your life, but at the same time it doesn't last as long. Mm-hmm. And you're just more like in a calm state a lot of the time.
I love meditation. I'm so glad I got back into it. Thank you for mentioning
You're
the Balance
welcome.
app. Best app ever.
Yes, honestly, and I do look forward to doing it most days, every day.
Yeah,
if I can.
Me freaking too. Are you ready to play a quick round of We're Not Really Strangers?
Yes, let's do it.
Yeah, we're gonna fire through this one. Okay. Level 1 is perception. Do I seem like someone who would get a name tattooed on my body? Why or why not?
I think you would. Haven't you?
No, I didn't get a name, but I did get an ex-boyfriend symbol tattoo.
Okay.
I have it covered up now.
Right.
Yes.
So, but I think you would eventually.
I wouldn't.
Oh, that was like the one and only.
Yeah. I feel like I'd have like a dog's name on me, but again, I'm just like, yeah, but a dog is only with you for 15 years max.
Right, but they like make such an impact on
your
life.
They do. And actually, I want to get Chewy's ear silhouette.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
On my body.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, ever since I got the ex-boyfriend tattoo, I now have like a little bit of a, do I really want that tattooed on me?
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. No, I don't think you'd have a name tattooed on you.
I don't think I'm going to get any other tattoos. I have a little
How many do you have?
I just have one on my ankle. It's like the simplest little sun ever.
It's so cute.
And
it's very white girl. But I love it. That's a compliment, okay?
Okay, anyways. You know what? Let me explain.
Oh, yeah. Explain your tattoo.
So my cousin, the one that like the mom of the little cousin that I babysat this morning, she's 6 years older than me. And we're basically like sisters. So 1 year for my birthday, she ended up picking me up, wanted to surprise me, and took me to go get a tattoo with her. So
best cousin ever.
Yes. And so this was my first tattoo, and we were like on the way there looking at Pinterest trying to figure out what we wanted. She had no idea. And I'm like, you couldn't have even like looked to see if there was.
This is your idea.
Like, yeah, exactly. So we found one on Pinterest that was like a sun and a moon, and she got the moon and I got the sun, and it's very simple, but I love and adore it.
Spot?
Yes.
Cute.
Yes. And I love it. And I think it's just like so simple. It's literally just a circle and a couple lines. Like
it's very simple.
But that's just what kind of gal I am. I'm a simple gal. So
you are.
Yeah.
So you've got one tattoo. I have 4.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And you're gonna get many more.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love tattoos. Yeah.
Okay, next question. What about me intrigues you?
What about you intrigues me? Your bubbly, like uplifting personality.
Okay.
Yeah. That's always been the one thing that I'm like, ooh, I like this girl.
Really?
And then when I started to learn that like, wow, we have like the same freaking mind. Like we love meditation. We love being better. That's why we created this podcast.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. What about me intrigues you? Or wait,
what about me intrigues you?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think how good you are at editing and doing stuff on the computer.
Thank you.
Like, that surprised me so much, because like going into like doing this podcast with you, like I was like, oh boy, like I'm not the best at, like, I love doing stuff on the computer, and like I was in computer science for a while, but at the same time, like there's so much that I don't know, and like video editing is one. So,
and that's my favorite part of this whole process.
Like that really surprised me, but I love that. I love how good you are.
Thank you.
You're so good.
I appreciate that. Okay. Level 2 is connection. Okay, this question could be kind of interpreted in any way, but just say the first thing that kind of comes up for you, okay? Is there a feeling that you miss?
Okay, I want to say that the feeling is being a child and just being so careless, and all I cared about was having fun, and there was no negative thoughts in my mind.
I love that. Yeah.
I miss that.
Adulting kind of sucks sometimes.
Yeah. And like when we were younger, we were like, oh, I can't wait to be 30 and have a house and have like the perfect dog and the perfect husband and like a bunch of kids.
3 kids and all the things. Yeah.
It's like
reality check. No. Maybe at 40 those will happen.
What about you?
A feeling I miss. I don't know how to describe this feeling. It's kind of like a euphoric daydream, like you're so happy and things are just working out so good for you, like almost too good to be true kind of feeling, and you have to say, pinch me, is this my life?
Have you ever done shrooms?
No.
Oh.
Because I get really anxious when I smoke weed sometimes. I am very hesitant to do any other drug.
I was just gonna say that a lot of people say that being on shrooms like helps you get back into that feeling of like everything is going right for me, wow, and like life is amazing, and I have so many things
heard that before
going on for me, like it just makes you so happy, and I'm just like, shit.
So you want to know something interesting? So we know that weed was illegal for a very long time, and then it became legal in 2020.
Yes.
Cool. Awesome. We love that. Now shrooms is starting to go through processes of becoming legal. Because it literally has so much scientific stuff behind it, backing up on how it changes PTSD, depression, anxiety.
Isn't
Same
that crazy?
thing that weed can do.
Yeah.
But also when you're consuming these things in the wrong scenario, you're not consuming the right strains.
Yeah.
All these things, it can heighten up anxiety and stuff.
Exactly.
But that's like a whole nother, we could have an entire episode on
drugs,
psychedelics and drugs. Maybe we will one day, who knows? But the feeling that I miss is that like, holy shit, everything's working out for me just because I'm going through a little transition.
And you'll get back to that. Like,
I can't wait. That's my favorite feeling on the planet.
You feel on top of the world.
Yes.
Yeah. Mine is kind of the same.
Okay.
In a way, it says, what do you crave more of?
I crave more sense of control. And I don't necessarily think that that's a good thing. I know that I do have a little bit of a toxic trait in my life where I am controlling, and I see it pop up in different areas of my life, and I'm like, ooh, girl, you need to check yourself. But again, I loop back to the fact that I'm just feeling a little disorientated right now. So I just want that sense of control in my life. And I know that it's not necessarily a good thing to be craving. It's okay to just let things unfold the way that they unfold. Yeah. But yeah, that's my honest answer right there.
Mine's not as deep, that's for sure.
That's okay.
I was just gonna say that I crave more of summer. I feel like it's just gone by so fast.
You would live, so you're like a Florida girly. That's where you need to go live. Or like California. Summer 24/7. Fall is coming. Winter is coming. You ever seen Game of Thrones?
Nope. I know that line though. Anyways, we got to wrap this up because I got to go. Number 2, stat.
We're almost done, guys. Level 3, reflection. Okay, you go first.
How do our personalities complement each other?
Like I've said before, we're almost the same person.
Yeah. we
do have differences, but we are very similar.
Yeah, I would say the same.
We're both agreeing on that.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to fly through
Gotta
these
go.
responses. Do you want to pause?
No, it's okay.
What about me is the hardest for you to understand? I feel like I'm looking at your soul.
Don't. Okay, well, do you have one for me?
I could talk about a time. It was hard for me to understand when you told me you were quitting your job and you were working, you were going to do your lash and nail business at home. To me, I was just like, what the that's a terrible idea.
I know. And I know so many people thought that, but I was like, nope, this is what I want to do. Like, this home care job does not make me happy anymore. I do not want to do this for the rest of my life. Like, this is not me.
Yeah.
And so, like, I knew it was all going to work out. I just had that gut feeling. Yeah.
And it did. And it just proved to everyone that you
even
can
like my
trust
parents,
yourself.
I'm sure, were like, are you sure? Like, my dad is such a realistic one that he, like, I already know he questioned that so much.
Yeah.
And even when I told him, he was like kind of upset, and he was like, well, there goes your pension and there goes your retirement. And I'm like, Dad, there's other ways around it. Okay.
I'm going to survive. Don't worry.
I'm actually like, I need to go.
Okay, well then we'll pause.
And we're back.
And we're back. And you're fine. And you feel better?
Kind of, only hot girls have tummy issues, okay?
Seriously.
Right?
Seriously. Okay.
Okay.
You have to answer this for me.
Okay.
What about me is the hardest for you to understand?
Oh, right. Okay, when I was in the bathroom, I was trying to think of what the question was, and I couldn't remember.
You were busy, okay?
On TikTok. Okay, the hardest for me to understand. I feel like I'm just a very understanding person in general. So everything you're going through, and anytime like you tell me stuff, like I'm like, yep, like if that works for her, then like that's fine. They're like, you know what I mean? So,
and we have such like deep, in-depth conversations together that we're like explaining every crevice of that thought.
Yeah, exactly.
Together.
So
to
I
help
feel
us
you
understand.
on a lot of things.
Aww,
and
thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So did I? Oh yeah. Oh, I did read mine. Okay.
You
sorry.
did?
Yeah.
Are we done?
I think we're done.
Wow. Okay. Last little segment is our self-care challenge. And then
yes.
we're done. Do you know what you want to do?
I kind of just want to do like the workout 3 times.
Just keep the same one that you
yes.
had.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Honestly, I would like to do that as well. Is just keep my workout and try to have that techno-free morning or day.
Yeah.
I definitely want to hold on to that. Oh, I do want to say I'm very proud. One day I did go to the gym.
Oh, good.
The treadmill was being used, so I went on the elliptical and I was on there for 20 minutes and I gave her.
Oh,
like
good.
I was like,
nice.
If I was running, I would have been like running.
Is it quite big, your gym?
No,
downstairs?
It's very small.
Okay, because I was going to say, like, if you ever wanted to work out together, we could. But if it's that small, then
It's pretty tiny.
Yeah.
I definitely miss my gym membership. But
if you ever wanted to come to my gym, let me know, and I can show you what I do.
Yeah, yours is way in the north end of the city, isn't it?
Well, there's also one in the east end. But,
okay.
But
that's a way.
I've actually never been to the east one, but yeah, we can figure it out.
We can definitely do that. So thank you so much for listening and watching this very long-winded episode.
I hope you enjoyed the topic, because that's like one thing that we like just care so much about, and
I feel like we're going to touch on some form of meditation every single episode.
Probably.
So hopefully you guys took away some cool stuff.
Yep.
Like, subscribe, comment, share, all the things. And we love you.
And we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Okay, bye.